So you've just updated your iPad to iOS 11. Well, for you there's some new exclusive tablet features. So here's more than 15 new tips and tricks to get the best out of Apple's latest software update. Most of the iOS 11 enhancements revolve around the dock when it comes to iPads. First of all, you can add a lot more applications to it. In the case of an iPad mini, you can now get 11 applications on the dock. With a full-blown iPad or iPad Pro, you can get 13 applications on the dock, and this is what it looks like in portrait. What you will also start to notice is that if you run applications and then exit back out to the home screen, they start to appear on your dock. For example, I've just run Photos and Reddit. Now they appear as suggested applications in the dock. If you want to turn this feature off, however, go to Settings, then General, followed by Multitasking and Dock, and untick Show Suggested and Recent Apps. And then when you go back to the home screen, you'll just have your locked applications in the dock. The dock can now also be accessed from anywhere on your device. For example, if I go into Twitter, when I swipe up, instead of the control center, I now get the dock. In order to get the control center, I would have to swipe up again, and so this brings us to multitasking and the control center. So I can quickly jump from the Twitter application, if I was in there, like this, and go straight to Facebook. You can also use this dock as a quick way to start multitasking. For example, if I want to bring up the YouTube application, I can long press on it to pick it up and then drag it to the side of the screen. So now we have a floating application of YouTube along with Twitter. I can quickly swipe it from one side to the other to put it to the left or right. And then if I wanted to turn it into a full-blown multitasking app, I would tap on the notch here at the top, bring it to the top of the screen. So now we have both Twitter and YouTube as applications, where I can now resize them if I want to half and half screen, or make the Twitter application the smallest one. If I wanted to put one of the applications back into this floating mode, I would drag it down on the notch so that now Twitter is the child application, and then if I want to dismiss one of these applications, I simply swipe it off screen like that. Another thing to note is that if you have a floating application and you dismiss it, if you then bring it back through the dock, it will return as a floating application. However, if it's not currently in your floating application, so now we just have Twitter, when I go to the dock and switch to YouTube, it will switch to the full application. If you prefer your iPad not to multitask in this way, simply go to Settings, then Multitasking and Dock, and then uncheck Allow Multiple Apps, so that now if you try and drag a application into another application, it will simply switch to that new application like that. It's also worth clarifying that multitasking and the control center are now the same thing. So if I swipe up from the bottom of the screen, I get all my applications here and the control center, and if I double tap on the home button, I get exactly the same thing. So of course you can swipe away applications that you don't want anymore in your background, and you have all the control center features here, which you can add to by going to Settings, then scrolling down to Control Center, customizing controls, and then adding different ones that you want. So that now when I bring up the control center, we have these new actions here. Now when it comes to split screen, there is some drag and drop functionality. For example, I have the Notes application up here. If I bring the Photo application into this split screen, swipe it to the left, then if I tap and hold on one of these images, I can drag it into the Notes application and it will copy it and paste it effectively. You can also do this with text, so bring up various applications in split screen and try drag and drop and see what happens. And since we're in the Notes application, let me show you a new keyboard feature. Previously, if you wanted to get different characters on your keyboard, you'd have to tap the function key down here or do a long press. Now, what you can do is flick on the keyboard to get secondary function keys. For example, I can tap U, but if I flick down on U, that gives me the number 7 key. So very quick way to get new keys on your keyboard. Now, if you enjoyed this quick guide to some of the new iOS 11 iPad features, then make sure to check out my more extensive guide that includes another 50 iOS 11 tips on both the iPhone and iPad. If you enjoyed this video, we always appreciate you clicking that like button as well as feedback in the comments below. And if you want more tips, tricks and guides, then subscribe to the Video Gadgets Journal. Enjoy the rest of your tech day. Bye for now.